Perceived overqualification is the perception that the person has skills, abilities, education, experience that are not required nor utilized by the job. So the person is feeling that their skills are being underutilized. And this seems to be a problem because people feel that when they believe that they're overqualified, they feel that they are deprived of the job that they should have had, so which is related to a host of negative outcomes. In my own research, as well as the literature that exists, it seems that overqualification is related to a host of negative outcomes. So when people feel overqualified, they're less happy at work, which is not surprising. They express lower levels of job satisfaction and commitment to the organization, lower levels of engagement. They might have difficulty getting integrated into the work group, so social acceptance by their peers might be lower. It has positive effects on stress, so it increases stress and strain that the person experiences, and negative effects on life satisfaction and career satisfaction. So those are the negative outcomes that we're seeing. But interestingly, perceptions of overqualification have also been related to some positive outcomes in the form of the job performance. So there are some studies that show that under the right conditions, these people can outperform people who are not overqualified for their jobs. And our explanation for this is that they are by definition qualified for their jobs. So it's a matter of their skills exceed. And if they're motivated somehow, then they have the potential to make positive contributions to their workplace. And finally, they have a tendency to quit their jobs more often than everybody else. So perceptions of overqualification are related to the desire to leave their jobs and actual turnover. That's a great question, and I think managers have a lot to do in a situation like this. So first of all, what we see from research is that these are not employees to avoid. Employees who feel overqualified can actually bring a lot of valuable skills to the workplace, and they can be very valuable contributors to the workplace. So what managers need to do is deal with the negative consequences. What my own research has shown, for example, is that a sense of empowerment is something that these employees appreciate particularly a lot. So if, as a manager, you're thinking that I will hire this person and expect them to perform just like everybody else under very specific rules and regulations, then they may not be a great fit, definitely. But what we're seeing is if they have a certain level of autonomy regarding how to do their jobs, under what conditions they're going to perform their jobs, and if they have the ability to influence their work environment in a meaningful way, then the negative effects of overqualification for employees' behaviors and attitudes seem to go away. Secondly, in the hiring stages, sometimes managers are coming across these employees and thinking, why would I hire this person if they're going to leave so soon? It is not that simple. And what we're seeing is people oftentimes have very good reasons to take a job for which they're overqualified, and one of them seems to be fitting in with the organization's culture and values. So if somebody's feeling overqualified, but they also express a high level of fit with the company's values, then the negative effects seem to also be alleviated. And finally, it's important to remember that this is not necessarily a selection problem. It can happen to any employee during their tenure within the organization. Sometimes a person may not be overqualified when they're hired, but after years of working in that organization, they develop skills and abilities that are underutilized over time. The person grows, but the job doesn't grow with them. So in a situation like this, this situation is quite common in organizations, so what managers need to do is, of course, invest in people's skill development, but also create opportunities so that they can use those skills. Otherwise, they might start feeling overqualified over time. So this is an issue that managers need to pay attention to throughout the employment of an employee in that organization.